Therale Gurunnanse was the village's well-respected medicine man. Not only did he serve the local villagers, but people from neighboring areas would come to him for healing, from simple remedies to performing elaborate rituals. Though he was known for his good deeds, he was also a man who wouldn't hesitate to respond fiercely if anyone wronged him. His reputation was well established. He was both feared and respected by the villagers. Even in his old age, he had lost none of his strength or commanding presence. The villagers held him in high regard, with a mix of fear and reverence. Therale Gurunnanse had inherited both the virtues and vices of his lineage, keeping the traditions alive while wielding a certain power over the region. Though he is no longer alive, the stories of his deeds are well remembered by the villagers even today. His entire life was dedicated to the mystical arts, and he never let a challenge go unanswered. He continued to work quietly, focused on his own affairs, without making a big show of it. Then a new figure arrived in the village, a man called Jemani, or simply Jema. He too came from a lineage of mystical healers, but his reputation was not as noble. Jema had been forced to flee from his previous village after tormenting its people with curses and mischief, eventually getting himself expelled. He had even cast a curse upon the village before leaving. Now Jema had begun practicing his sinister magic in the new village, slowly spreading his influence. Jema soon learned about Therale Gurunnanse. Seeing him as an obstacle, Jema was determined to drive him away, believing it would allow him to reign supreme over the entire region. When word of Jema's plans reached Gurunnanse, he chose not to react hastily. He continued his work, waiting for the right time. Over time, news of Jema's malicious acts began to circulate. He had spread rumors that Therale Gurunnanse's healing powers were fake and started mimicking some of his rituals, creating distrust among the villagers. Jema spoke highly of his own lineage, casting Gurunnanse's in a bad light. Many in the village were wary, knowing the power that Therale Gurunnanse held, and waited to see what would happen next. One night, while Gurunnanse was away performing a ritual, Jema crept into his house with a malevolent intent, bringing along a dark curse. He believed no one was home, but Gurunnanse's wife was there, secretly watching everything. When her husband returned, she recounted every detail of Jema's visit. Furious, Gurunnanse invoked a protective spirit, and with rage burning in his eyes, he stormed over to confront Jema. "What nerve you have coming to my home with your curses while I'm away?" Gurunnanse bellowed. "Aha, the whole village knows of your charades, old man. It's only a matter of time before they cast you out, and I'll be the one to do it." Jema sneered. "Jema, you may have evaded me for now, but don't think I'll let you off so easily," Gurunnanse warned, his voice calm yet deadly. The two mystics clashed, each determined to maintain their power. Gurunnanse, no longer willing to sit idly by, decided to use his ancestral knowledge for a final, decisive move. He began preparing a powerful counter curse that required a rare and dangerous ritual. For this, he needed a crucial ingredient: the skull of a monkey. Fortunately, Gurunnanse had kept some supplies on hand, anticipating a confrontation like this. He instructed his apprentice to make necessary preparations while he crafted a protective talisman. After securing the items, they waited for the right night, the night when the curse would be most potent. Jema, unaware of Gurunnanse's plans, continued his efforts to cast curses. The time had come. In the dead of night, Gurunnanse, with his apprentice by his side, went to the cemetery. They brought with them the necessary offerings, fresh eggs, raw meat, and a monkey skull. The offerings were set in a ritual circle, and the ceremony began. The air grew heavy, and the trees around them seemed to sway with an unseen force. As they chanted, bats began to circle above them. Strange, unsettling occurrences unfolded as the ritual progressed. Gurunnanse remained undeterred, focusing on the task at hand. When the moment was right, he placed the monkey skull in the center, muttering incantations under his breath. His apprentice, trembling with fear, did as he was told, handing over burning coals and performing the tasks meticulously. The ritual culminated with Gurunnanse slicing a chicken's neck over the monkey skull, letting the blood drip onto it. The ground beneath them trembled, and a dark shadow seemed to rise from the earth. Suddenly, a swarm of monkeys appeared in the trees, drawn to the skull left hanging from a tree branch. One monkey, more curious than the others, approached the offering. Gurunnanse and his apprentice watched intently as the monkey reached for the fruits. The creature took a bite, and within moments, its behavior changed. Its eyes glowed red, and a fierce, wild expression overtook it. It howled and leapt from tree to tree with a frenzied speed before vanishing into the darkness. "The deed is done," Gurunnanse said with grim satisfaction, turning to his apprentice. "Now we wait." The following day, Gurunnanse's apprentice rushed back with urgent news. Jema had been attacked by a monkey that broke into his house during a healing session. It bit and scratched him before disappearing. Since then, Jema had grown ill, his eyes bloodshot, his behavior erratic. The curse was working. Desperation grew as Jema's condition worsened. He sought help from other healers and doctors, but none could cure him. Madness took hold, and Jema became increasingly violent, attacking anyone who got close. His family had to confine him, tying him down to keep him from harming others. Therale Gurunnanse, having restored his honor and secured the safety of his village, watched from afar as Jema's fate unraveled. Knowing the legacy of his family would remain unchallenged. The villagers, seeing the downfall of the once arrogant Jema, reaffirmed their faith in Gurunnanse's power, understanding that the old ways, both good and bad, still held sway over their lives. Thus, the tale of Therale Gurunnanse and Jema became another story in the village's long history. A warning to those who sought to disrupt the ancient order.